Hello Libra, thank you for joining me here at Leaping Lotus Tarot. If this message resonates for you, please hit like and subscribe. It very much helps to grow this small channel. It helps get the messages out there to the people who need to hear them. Please only take the messages that resonate for you. Tarot readings are meant to be very affirmative of your own, not your own belief systems necessarily, because we're here to challenge some of the traditional belief systems that you may have, but they are supposed to resonate with a certain part of you that is in harmony with the truth of reality, the truth of your soul. So that's what the goal is here, to find that positive message in and amongst the darkness and the stressors of life. Please take a deep breath for me if you would. Ground yourself into the present moment. We're going to see what messages come through. This is a very cool tarot deck. It's like, I forget what it's like hologram or whatever, where it moves when you move it. So this is a very cool deck. We have Ace of Chalices is the first card to come out, and it was in reverse. If you see me kind of tilt the cards here, it's so that you can kind of see the movement. We got birds flapping in the their wings here. Ace of Chalices is Ace of Cups. This is a new romantic beginning. This is the start of something new. This is emotional fulfillment. This is a super positive, beautiful, loving card. Now, the only thing that's kind of a little weird about it is the fact that it came out in reverse. So let's get some clarity as to why this Ace of Chalices would be in reverse. What do we need to know for Libra? Oh, wow, we've got Ace of Swords. Okay, so the sword energy is represented by the air signs, okay? So you can see the air moving and flowing through here on this card. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and this is a Libra reading. So this is very empowering to your mental state, to your communication, to your clarity, to your decisiveness. When we have these ace cards, they're meant to kind of represent the divine support, God coming down and offering you, you know, the one hand. I was going to say the nomad or the monad. That was interesting. And so let's figure out, so this is clarity, this is like decisiveness. So when I ask for clarity of the Ace of Cups in reverse and we get the Ace of Swords, it's almost like somebody is trying to step out of an emotional decision or an emotional thing and come into like a clarity with it. We also have the High Priestess. There's cool little leaves shooting across the card on this one. The High Priestess is a very empowered feminine energy. This is part of the major arcana. So the fact that we've got these two ace cards here, so we've got aces or ones, right? And then we have the High Priestess, which is the number 2 in the major arcana. So 1 and 1 is 2. You could be seeing 1, 1, 1, 11, 11, 2, 2, 2. All of these are significant right now for you. And with this empowered feminine energy, she's feeling very I almost want to say she's embracing her shadow side a bit. Let's see what oh wow, okay. I'm glad that I didn't say what I was thinking entirely, because I was like, hold on, we don't want to say that. But now we have the number 3 in the major arcana. We've got the Empress. This is a very fertile and abundant energy. And so with the High Priestess, you don't tend to think of her as very fertile. You think of her being able to embrace her light and her dark. In the traditional Rider-Waite tarot imagery depiction of the High Priestess, there's like a light white moon and a black moon pillar on either side of her. So she has this ability to embrace a dark side, but there's still very much the light here because we have this Empress card. And there is like a fertility here, a motherly energy. And we have the Knight of Wands. We're gonna have to get some clarity if this Knight of Wands is a person or what this represents. Because so far we have a feminine energy coming through, who's coming into her clarity, who's coming into her power, but also is trying not to be too emotional about whatever this thing is. She's trying to be very rational, but very, very holistic in her approach of how she's addressing this. But we have a Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands can kind of be, it's not a king, right? But it's also not a page. It's a masculine energy that's wanting to move in. Not like, you know, like literally, could be for your situation, but this is like trying to move in towards you with passion. Wands are passion, right? Fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. So let's go ahead and ask, what is this Knight of Wands here? What is this Knight of Wands? What does he need to say? The Knights are communicators. Well, the pages can be too, in a sense. What is this Knight of Wands coming in with this passion for? Is this a Guess let's start there. What is this passion or what? Okay, we got the Hierophant. Wow. Okay, someone might be feeling fiery for you as far as like a marriage. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck because of how cool the imagery is with this shooting down here. So traditions, marriage, values, religion, things that you traditionally think of, right? And this is what I had started the reading off with is like, hey, you know, we're open to challenging traditional beliefs here, right? So this Knight of Wands might be coming in with an idea of marriage. We've got 3 cards that come out in reverse here, though. We've got 6 of Coins in reverse, 8 of Swords in reverse, and 9 of Swords in reverse. Whatever this Ace of Cups situation that was in reverse before, it feels like with the 9 of Swords, that can be a very like up awake late at night with like worry and stuff, but it's in the reverse. 8 of Swords is a very restricted energy, not feeling like you're able to move and do what you need to do. That's also in reverse. We have the 6 of Coins. That's kind of separate here. We'll address this. These 8 and 9 here, it feels like when we have that Ace of Swords kind of in tandem with these things, right? Somebody was in that worry, was in that pain, was in that restriction, but now they've come to a clarity, right? So it feels like that was like past energy. But then we have the 6 of Coins, which is a balance card. Very different energy from those, but that is also in the reverse. And that's what's kind of throwing me here a little bit. And this is all technically clarity for this Knight of Wands. He may think that he's ready for someone like a High Priestess or an Empress, but I'm not sure he is. What is the 6 of Coins in reverse? I need some clarity on that. 6 of Chalices reversed. I don't really like this, to be honest. This feels like a masculine energy who has just had a lot of past wounding and is just trying to forget an old soulmate or is trying to forget an old hurt way of doing things. And he's still not balanced, but he's just kind of like, oh, you've brought so much clarity into my life. You've brought so much, you know, I want to marry you because you're the best thing I've ever found, but there's still not something balanced here. And it just feels like he's repressing, fully addressing the things of the past. Why is he coming through as a knight and not a king? Because I want to give him the benefit of the doubt here. Ooh, wow. Death and 3 of Swords. That very much validates what I was saying about the heartbreak with perhaps a past soulmate. He is trying to be born into a new cycle, though. So there very much is an intention to start over with this death energy, with this Scorpio energy, but there's still inevitable heartbreak here. There's so much sword energy coming through in this reading. So much mental space stuff. It kind of makes me want to go back to the beginning, though, that the very first card we had was Ace of Cups in reverse. That doesn't feel like a cut. Oh my gosh, exactly the Devil, Capricorn. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. This is kind of a heavier reading, but I'm just trying to relay the messages that are coming through, okay? She feels too good for this guy. I'm so sorry. Do we have advice for the Knight of Wands? Like, is he going to move? Oh, this, okay. Okay. If the High Priestess or the Empress is a Virgo, that wouldn't surprise me because we have this Hermit card in reverse and I'm asking for advice. It almost, this 5 of Chalices almost seems like maybe you need to step away from this Virgo. You need to step away from this Empress, this High Priestess. Yeah, it's gonna suck. Yeah, it's spilled cups, but there's abundance waiting for you when you step away. It's not all for naught. This is interesting. I kind of want to figure out why, as I'm shuffling this too, the Wheel of Fortune kind of like briefly popped out. So there's hope here for sure. Luck, destiny, fate. Like there's so many options here. What's advice for the Empress? 6 of Swords, move on. Oh my goodness. Oh, sail away into new uncharted territory. Go heal. Is there someone waiting for this Empress that's more in alignment with her energy? Nine of Swords in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse, Four of Swords. Whoa. There's definitely something about a kid here. I can't deny that. With that Empress card, the fact this Four of Swords has a child on it, the fact that this woman is holding a child in her arms with the Six of Swords. So the indecision is going away with this Two of Swords in reverse, which makes sense because, again, we started this reading with that Ace of Swords upright, the Nine of Swords in reverse, the worry. You know, she may be up worrying too much about this masculine, the fact that he's still heartbroken over somebody else, and she just needs to go within and choose herself, choose her child in this sense. Is this child with the Knight of Wands? Is this child with the Knight of Wands? Wow. Queen of Cups upright and Death again. Whoa. This could mean that she's stepping away and starting a family with somebody else, and that's how she's getting her emotional fulfillment as a child with somebody else. This is her death cycle. This is her version of stepping away and moving on. 11:22 when I looked at the time. Remember how I started this reading saying 111, 1111, 222 might be significant for you, and we just got 11:22, okay? Wow. I guess I just need confirmation. Are these two really stepping away from each other? Knight of Swords in reverse, Ace of Chalices in reverse, the High Priestess upright. Yes. Yes. Yes, that's what's happening. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh. Let's just break this into two different paths, okay? Let's just get clarity on these. Oh, we've got the moon that kind of fell out. All right. Illusion, perhaps. Eight of Wands in reverse. Very much something like something is not quickly happening. This may be far down the line. You may be living an illusion for a little while before you come to this realization. Whoa. What does the Knight of Wands go do? What does he realize, or what does he go do? Knight of Swords moves quickly towards a new emotional beginning. Starting over himself, rushing away towards it. Okay. What does the Empress go do? What's her path? What does she go do? How does she address this new beginning? Knight of Chalices, Knight of Cups, Eight of Chalices, Queen of Swords. Whoa. Oh, wow. Seven of Swords in reverse. She kind of goes on quite the journey of like kind of refinding herself. She's such an empowered feminine, but she embodies so many different aspects of the feminine that are so beautiful and so powerful. She's really discovering all aspects of herself here. She's finding her truth. She's stepping away from people that don't serve her anymore. Even if another Page of Cups comes along and offers her an emotional thing, she's like, hold on, like I might need to step away and listen to my heart's truth, figure out like who I really am. Which is choosing people who are not going to deceive me and who are not going to be in their wounded state. They're going to bring devil energy into my life because they're not ready and they have not healed from their past life karmic trauma and all that. Oh my goodness. This is heavy, guys. I'm not sure I feel about this reading. Okay. Any final messages? Okay. Working hard regardless. This might end up being kind of for both people here. Five of Chalices again, you know, seeing that the situation sucks, but that there's opportunity all around you. Knight of Coins and Knight of Wands. This Knight of Coins, this is a feminine energy on this card. This kind of could represent the Virgo energy that we had kind of alluded to earlier, perhaps. And we have the Knight of Wands. Why is the Knight of Wands coming out again? What do we need to know about this Knight of Wands? The Devil again, Ace of Swords. Oh my goodness. This could be saying that if you choose to stay with this person, your decision could be wrapped in addiction, and not necessarily to substance, but to, what's it called? Codependency. And it kind of disempowers you a little bit and knocks you down into sort of like a knight energy versus like the queen and empress and all the things we've been seeing so far. But you'll still be abundant. You'll still have your work. You'll still have your lifestyle. Tell me about the Knight of Coins a little bit more. King of Swords in reverse, Three of Chalices in reverse. By not opening yourself up and, you know, utilizing that whole like Eight of Cup energy and Six of Sword energy of, stepping away, moving on, you might miss an opportunity with a king that's more in alignment with where you're trying to head with things, is what this is saying. You have the choice to stay, but you're choosing something deliberately by staying. Is there a wrong or right choice here? Like, I don't know. It just... Six of Coins in reverse, Queen of Wands in reverse. Oh, even though you're the Empress and you're the High Priestess and you embody the Queen of Cups, you embody the Queen of Swords, you embody all these aspects of the feminine, like I said, the Queen of Wands did come out in reverse, and we have this Knight of Wands. It's almost like you'll never be the fiery queen that this Knight of Wands had the heartbreak over. And yeah, there's just like this is the equal give and take. There's just something. Is this Knight of Wands going to go back? Should he go back? If he, should he go back to this other feminine that he feels this is, that he felt maybe at one point was his Queen of Wands? Three of Wands in reverse. It'd be a journey back. He's not sure he'd want to go on that journey. Definitely gives him pause for sure. Does he want to go back to what caused him the heartbreak and what caused that whole Five of Coins? No, he doesn't want to go back. He doesn't want to be left out in the cold. He wants reciprocating energy. But it's like his soul somehow... There's a card flipped over here that's upside down. Oh no, it was the King of Swords earlier. So what that's kind of telling me is that I need to address that. Sorry for this long reading, guys. This is going to be closer to like a 22-minute reading here. I just really feel like there's a lot coming through here. We need to ask about this King of Swords. He's got something he wants to say. This is the King of Swords that is would be the opportunity lost for this Empress, High Priestess, Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups energy if she were to stay with this Knight of Wands, who doesn't necessarily want to go back to where the heartbreak came from, but like has the resulting devil energy associated with the it just feels like a trauma bond. It feels like codependency. It feels like it's just not as empowering to this feminine energy. Tell me about this King of Swords. Tell me about this new guy, this other opportunity, this other path. Knight of Coins, Knight of Wands. What the flip? You can't make this stuff up, guys. Why did these two come out together? Wow, what this is saying is like, because that King of Swords did come in reverse, what this is kind of telling me is like, this is not the choice that's going to be made. The choice that's going to be made is staying with this Knight of Wands. Okay. So what's the lesson then? What's the benefit of staying? Justice in reverse, Libra energy. What is the benefit of staying? Nine of Wands in reverse. You won't have to do it alone. Why was Justice in reverse? Wow, Two of Coins. Oh, these cards just dumped out. Oh, wow, we got Ace of Cups. Whoa, hold on. Whoa. This is cool. Okay, wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to end it on this because this is, okay, let me just like take a deep breath for a second because What just came out, I said, why was justice in reverse? And what came out like very clearly was the Two of Coins. This is like harmony and balance, you know, this is more of like, remember how we've been struggling with an equal give and take this whole time, but we've got this balancing act now. Originally had a Two of Swords come out in reverse early on, and it's like, okay, there's this indecisive energy, and now it's like, you know, it's in reverse, so it's kind of moving out of it, and this is like, okay, we're balancing something. Justice was in reverse because we're balancing something. What are we balancing? We just got the Ace of Cups upright now, and we got the Hermit upright, and that's Virgo energy. So, and then we have the Two of Wands in reverse. That one I'm gonna have to get clarity on. But with this Ace of Cups and the Hermit upright, this just feels like by staying with this Knight of Wands situation, she's learning self-love. That's what she's gaining. She's not doing life alone, and she's learning to love herself through this connection. What's the Two of Wands in reverse? I gotta get clarity. I'm not even sure what that would mean in this sense. What is the Two of Wands in reverse? It could be like a lack of like traveling and diversity, a lack of meeting other people when she's decided on this person. And like I said in the beginning, that was the Page of Cups in reverse, by the way, which was the card that we got that was clarifying what he would do if they were to go different paths. But it's in reverse. So it's like, I don't think there's different timelines here. Three of Coins. You know, these two might be very good work partners. They might stay together just because of straight up like abundance through like work and money. They might be very good work partners. Wow. Wow. Whoa. Are these two just like really good work partners? But there's Ace of Cups. There's fulfillment here. Seven of Coins. I mean, it's still hard work, right? They're still having to grow something. They're still having to build. They're still having to try. What's the ultimate outcome if they stay together? We have the Star. It did fall out in reverse. This is Aquarius energy. Why are they not able to like travel and move towards Six of Swords in reverse? I don't want to get too far in the weeds here. Emotional fulfillment. How does the emotional fulfillment come to pass with this connection? That's what I need to know. They might get stuck a little bit is what I'm kind of hearing. Wheel of Fortune. Ten of Swords. Three of Swords. I don't want to say this connection is doomed to fail. This is a very complicated one. This is hard. I'm so sorry for this reading. I'm really trying my best to not make this so like, I'm really trying to stay optimistic with it. Is this Page of Wands, Page of Coins, like, are the Knights, the Knight of Wands, is this doomed to fail? Is this connection doomed to fail? Is this just a long, drawn out lesson? The Fool and Judgment. Oh my gosh. That could very much be saying, yes, this is just a long, drawn out lesson. It almost feels inevitable though, because there's a lot of life lessons learned between these two for this. I feel like that it feels inevitable, and it feels that they have to choose each other. Like they have to learn these lessons. And I sound like so sad about it. Like, oh, they have to learn these lessons. Like that's such a beautiful opportunity. I mean, if you look at the Judgment card, like it's a beautiful opportunity to come into the divine. And to be okay with starting over in whatever that path looks like for you in life. I think I just realized how long this journey could be is what this feels like. Any final messages? Any final messages for Libra? And again, this may not be future energy. This could be what you've gone through already. This could be past energy. You know, everybody's story is a little different. So this could be current stuff, future stuff, or past stuff for this person. What do we got here? 8 of Coins, King of Coins. The final messages are, I do think there is going to be financial abundance. That has been a consistency here, that there is going to be hard work involved in this process, but there will be financial abundance. And there's going to be a lot of lessons learned. And there's going to be a lot of parts of the self that are like, you know, start to develop. I don't want to say certain parts will de-develop. I don't really think that for the High Priestess Empress, even though I kind of alluded to that with her coming through as the Knight of Coins so much. There is an aspect of her that has to lower to kind of meet this masculine at his Knight energy. But at the end of the day, there's so much like success and abundance with this, and there's just so much potential, and just as far as learning and stuff too. So I don't think this is bad. It does feel long. It does feel like it's all gonna be fine at the end of the day. But yeah, I hope you took something from that. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If this was your reading, please drop it in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Again, hit like and subscribe. Yeah, hopefully that was okay. This is a lot to kind of process. I'm still kind of stewing on this one myself. This is like a story that I couldn't even get a full resolution to because it was so like, there's so many layers. There's so many different like truths to this. There's like truths within truths, and then there's like denial of truths, and it's like, oh my gosh, like how it was just so much to get into, and I really don't want to make this reading any longer than it is. If you want a part 2 to this, I will dive in. Just drop it in the comments. Say, hey, I want a part 2. I need to know more. I need to like get into the nitty gritty of like where this is going and like when this is happening, because I will do that for you guys if you want. But at this time, I'm going to leave this one here. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and we will see you next time.